And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Brees now. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 21 yards there on 3rd down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie of the NFL, in on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, passed Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Good job, D. Good job, D.
He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Hunt, and he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 14 carries, 72 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Breeze. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. There's Breeze. Off to Thomas on the left side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with him for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Breeze to throw. He's got Lacoste, his tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Vinatieri's kick is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. And that'll set them back 5. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. After the penalty, it's Ingram. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This is intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down now, it's Hunt, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find out.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. New York set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Mahomes now to throw. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. To throw, it's Mahomes. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing now is Mahomes. Here as he's taken down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Ready? 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down.
Watch the screen. Check.
Shotgun now for Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
5-9. 56. Mike, 56.
Now Breeze. Looking deep for Demarius. That's caught inside the 20.
Holding offense.
Now, wait a minute. They declined it.
Makes no sense, right? They just gave up a big yardage play, right?
And now it's going to stand.
The only thing I can think, someone is mad at their own defense, and they're trying to teach them a really, really crazy lesson.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. 31-14, the final. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York set to take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to... Funchess is free! Past the 20! Touchdown, Giants! Devin Funchess, his second touchdown on the season, and the Giants have taken the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going deep for Brown. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. He gets it to Brown, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the 3rd quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Back now in Tampa. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. From the 29, Mahomes, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This one complete to Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, but I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
This is West. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting back.
And it's a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over, yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. It doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mahomes firing complete. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running set.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that extends their advantage to 6 at 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Drew Brees in the offense. Down by 6. A minute 51 on the clock. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true. It's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. And they'll try to save the timeouts to use on defense if need be as he runs up and spikes it.
95, 56. Watch right, watch right. Watch right, watch right.
Back to throw, Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. It's a gain of 34.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. Back to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. Now the ball comes loose, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Mike is 59. Mike's the 59.
They'll try and run with Ingram. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Now, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. At time, a huge factor. To throw, it's Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Give him 32 on the play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's taken down inside the 30. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football